Hi, I'm waiting. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to join. Hello, Colette. So I want to talk to you about a training I have. If you put the word voice in the comments, you will get invited to a training. This isn't an application only thing. This is everybody's invited. Everybody can come join us. And we're going to talk about the voice of your soul, which is super important, and why your guides are direct reflectors of the voice of your soul. So this is something I learned later on in my experience with my guides, and it's super powerful. And it's what really is going to change how you think and how you live your life. So it's really important. So this training I'm going to be doing on Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So if you can show up, do it. Hit voice, put voice in, and you will get the information to this training. And again, everybody can come to this training. This isn't an application only process thing. The voice of your soul. So I had asked a question on my Facebook page, and I thought it was fascinating. And I want to show you this question, and I want you all to answer it right now. So we asked, if your soul spoke to you today, what would it say? So if your soul spoke to you today, what would it say? So that's what I want to know right now in the questions. If your soul spoke to you today, what would you say? And what's fascinating to me is that a lot of people responded. It's like 45 comments, and everybody was very clear about what their soul would say to them. And I want to see what you guys come up with, because I want to talk to you about why this is so important, like why this particular question gets answers right away. People had answers. Slow down and breathe. You got this. Just relax. You're doing good. Go to a hotel and hide out. One was buy a lottery ticket. Buy a lottery ticket. Your time has come. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, what a great, that's great. So if your soul, so the question is, let me go back. Hold on. So I can see your answers. And even if you answered this, I'd love for you to ask yourself right now, if your soul spoke to you today, what would it say? If your soul spoke to you today, what would it say? And for those of you just joining now, I am doing a training on Thursday, The Voice of Your Soul. It's a masterclass training. So I'd love for you to join me. Hi, Dawn. I hope you got to see video 3 in the experience. Have faith. David said, have faith. Good one. Christine said, to keep true to yourself and your life's purpose, you're meant to do this work. Love that, Christine. Beautiful, beautiful. Give yourself a break. You're doing great. Yay. Love that, Terry. Beautiful. Therese said positive. Voice, what happens if I don't use Messenger? Zoe, I don't know, to be honest with you. There must be a way to sign up. Let me find out real quick. Give me a sec. Why isn't, that's not what I want. I'm pretty sure, let me see if Trisha's on. I'm pretty sure it's probably MarilynAloria.com/voice, and you can sign up for it. But I'm just asking. So keep spreading love and light. Great, Skylar. Love that one. Oh, Dawn, is that because you're having a lot of experiences? Dawn's in my extravaganza. That's because you're living in your truth. Hello, Lisa, one of my soul stars. And Mary, too. Hi, Mary. Stop waiting for a perfect time or even a better time. Trust. Love it, Mary. Another soul star. So hi, April. You are enough. Okay, so really, this is a very important topic. Nobody is struggling with this question. Nobody is struggling with this question. If your soul spoke to you today, what would it say? So why don't you struggle with that? Let's try something new. And for those of you just joining, I'm doing a training. Man, I can't multitask today. I'm a little tired. Look at that. Okay, voice, put in voice, and you're going to get invited to one of my trainings that I'm doing Thursday. So, all right. So your soul spoke to you. Nobody struggled with it. Everybody was able to give me an answer. All right. Let's pick Archangel Michael, because everybody seems to resonate well with Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael just appeared in front of you. Hi, Guy. Just appeared in front of you. Archangel Michael is standing there. He's holding a mirror. It's reflecting your soul. What does Archangel Michael say about your soul? What does Archangel Michael say about your soul? Put it in the comments below. Put it in the comments below. I know there's a delay. So what does Archangel Michael say about your soul? That's what I want to know now. What does Archangel Michael say about your soul? You're welcome, Dawn. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Trisha. And for those of you who don't use Messenger, you can sign up for the webinar master training there. I just put it into the comments so that if somebody who doesn't use it. So Archangel Michael just stood in front of you. He's holding up a mirror to your beautiful soul. What does he say about your soul? Thank you, April. Another soul star. Girl, your light is really bright. Skylar's are you are old and wise. Love it, love it, love it. Lori says, you're heading in the right direction. Great. Lisa, another the soul star, you're becoming who you're supposed to be. Love it. You, Colette, love this. You are very unique. Love it. Jackie's put the fear aside and go for it. Okay. Let me get a couple more because these are a lot of fun. Diva, it's radiant. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Love it. Dark black surrounded by blinding light. Love that because there's a lot that can go on in the blackness. I love the death card. Well, I don't love the death card, but whenever I see the death card in the tarot deck, I know it means change, and it's really spiritual change. It's beautiful change. You are stronger than you know. Good job. All right, Mary. You have the power. You got this. Love this. Juanita, new soul star. All my soul stars on here. Welcome. So soul star is a member of Membership for Your Soul. Juanita, that's what we call ourselves, soul stars. So we have a few soul stars on here. Welcome, Juanita. She's going to get into the group soon. Love your whole self. Good job, Juanita. Jean, you are full of light and love. Overcome your fears. Yes, Jean. I love it. Okay. So for those of you just joining, I'm doing a training on Thursday, and you can put in voice and you'll learn all about the training. You'll go into Messenger. So I didn't know, I never know what I'm going to do. Hi, Esther. Don't let yourself rule by fear. Some more. Hi, Steve, by the way. David, we have some great soul stars on here. So voice, put the voice in. I'm going to teach you the voice of your soul. So I've just asked you 2 questions. And for those of you joining late, I asked 2 questions. The first question I asked was, if your soul spoke to you today, what would you say? You all had an answer. Then we took Archangel Michael, because he's usually the one everybody likes, put him in front of you. He had a mirror. He was holding up. It was reflecting your soul. And he told you what he thought about your soul. Nobody struggled. Nobody struggled with an answer. Why do you struggle when it comes to talking to your guides? Why is that different? That's what I want to know now. Why is that different? So tell me, hi, Roseanne. Tell me why that's different. Okay? Why, when I can ask you these questions really quick, you can come up with answers. And then when we talk about your guides and I get you into learning how to work with your guides, you struggle with it. So I'm doing a training on Thursday called The Voice of Your Soul, the only guidance you will ever need. And here's what I have to say. This is like what I've learned from my guides. So I've been communicating with my guides for about 14 or so years, almost 15. And for the longest time, we communicated. About 5 or 6 years ago, they told me they were reflections of my soul. And some of you may be like, what does that mean, reflections of your soul? And this is what we're going to talk about in the training on Thursday. And I'm going to teach you how to ask questions, how to dream, how to ask questions, and I need a manicure, and how to break down a symbol, because they speak to us in the symbolic language. So those are the 3 things we're going over in the webinar, in the masterclass training. So I said to them, I understood what it meant. They're direct reflectors of my soul. So basically what my guides taught me, and that I'm teaching all of you, is our guides are with us to really get us living in our soul light, to get us living in the essence of our soul, why we're here, who we really are, before we forgot who we are, really living in the light of our being and spreading that light. And they remind us who we are. They teach us who we are. They show us who we are. They reflect who we are. They walk us through experiences so we could get the light out of the experience and not just the darkness. They help us from falling down the rabbit hole. So they're direct reflectors of our truth, of our soul, of our highest light. I was teaching a soul session 2 weeks ago in Soul Finder Academy, and it's basically where I teach my students how to channel. And I was teaching them my own way of doing it, which a lot of people don't know my specific way of doing it. And for those of you who are in Soulful Living with Your Guides, there's an opportunity to join membership right now and get that as a bonus, that soul session, one of those soul sessions as a group experience. But when I was teaching them, one of the things I say, I don't share a lot of times what I say, but I always say it's from the highest light in highest alignment with myself. I'm calling in my guides from the highest light in highest alignment with myself. So of course they're reflectors of my soul, they're reflectors of my light, they're reflectors of my highest truth, my highest light. And how many of us want to walk in this light and always be in this light? Don't worry, Mary, we're going to do more of it. So we're going to do more of it. It was so overwhelmingly received, me teaching that stuff to you guys. I'm going to teach more of it in Soul Finder Academy. I'm probably going to bring a little slight portion of it into membership too. So know that your guides are the reflections of your soul. So let me hear why I asked you why you struggle. This is a good one, Joy. I like this. She says, I asked you why you struggle with hearing your guides. She says, I think it's the energetic vibration, which very well could be, because when you start working with your guides, you have to raise your vibration and they lower their vibration. So when the beginning, when I started channeling, I would raise my vibration to talk to them and I would get nauseous. I would get sick because the vibration was so strong that my physical being wasn't used to it. So I learned techniques and tools on how to ground my energy so that I could go into those meditations. Now I don't need to do that anymore. I could do that and I'm with my guides. So I no longer have to do that. I'm used to it. They're used to me. I'm used to them. We could just go right in. So that does make sense. It's the energetic vibration, but you don't want that to stop you from communicating with your guides. You don't want that to stop you, because really what it is you're operating in pure light. You're operating in the pureness of your being, of the essence of your being. And you don't want to stop your own purity, your own essence, your own light from living in this world, right? Even some of you are empathic. You're so empathic. You're like, that's too vulnerable of an experience because you're afraid of inviting information in or energy in that could possibly make you feel uncomfortable. But when you learn how to work with your guides and you learn how to work with this, which is your instrument, you learn how to navigate that energy. And if something trickles in that upsets this instrument, you learn how to ground it and work with it. These are all the things I teach in my programs. Okay. Let's go up. Follow question. Don't come natural, but they are the next step for me. Follow-up questions. So that's great. April's in membership for your soul, and she's just saying the follow-up questions to her guides don't come naturally to her, but it's the next step for her. And that's okay, because April, it's a work in progress. We're not going to just come into this experience being, excuse me a sec. I got to let you. Why don't you go out? It's probably cooler out there. Go ahead, go. Go ahead, go. Go. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Is that it? Say hi and then go. That's my guy. All right. All right, I'm just going to leave the door open for him. So that's okay, April. Like you said, it'll come. There's no difference. Exactly, Dawn. There should be no difference. But you trip it up in your head and you think you can't communicate with them. So you are the instrument to communicate with them, but you're also the block. So you have to learn how to dissolve the block, the belief system inside of you, to communicate with them. And you could do it simultaneously. Okay, so not sure, gets that's the point, want to be sure. Interesting. I'm not sure what you're saying, Mary, but I'd love to know. I would love to know. I don't think you have to worry about the difference, Beva, between higher self and your guides. If you're getting information and you're feeling it's from the highest light, then just work with that. Okay. Struggle comes from, hi Donna, struggle comes from habit and momentum of thinking of problems or trying to figure it out on our own heads. Yes. So when you're working with guidance that's from the highest light and highest alignment with yourself, you're able to, Debbie says, hi Micah. You're able to dissolve that and have a pure communication. So, thanks Peggy. He's one of them. I also have Venus, who's absolutely phenomenal, and 3 amazing cats. So they're amazing these days because I finally learned how to get them to let me sleep. So put in voice, because this is going to be a training that I do. And I would suggest to you, just for the fun of it, I would suggest that you ask your soul every day when you wake up in the morning, what do you want to say to me? Every morning, what do you want to say to me? And just ask your soul, and you all just did it, and have them answer it, have it answer it. So I want to leave you with one other lesson, but if you have any questions about this, let me know. But remember, those of you who've been on this for a while with me right now, you just did 2 things right away. You got your soul to answer you without hesitation. Why are you able to do it with me? Because you're in a soul grouping, you trust it, and you're not thinking, and you're just going with it. And I ask really fun questions that make you think differently. Second part is I put Archangel Michael in front of you. I had him hold up a mirror, and he was reflecting your soul. And I asked you, what did Archangel Michael say about your soul? And you all were able to answer that. Why is there guidance? Why not just us? That's exactly what I'm teaching, Jody. It is you. A lot of times, it's a good question, Jody. What I teach, and I did this yesterday, so I have a thing going on. A lot of times, our guides are reflections of us. They are the highest reflections of us. That's what I'm going to be teaching in this master class. That's why if you put voice in. And really, when we work with guides, or we work with, I taught this yesterday. So yesterday I did a video in Membership for Your Soul, a special video for them that I'm going to try to download and share it. But what I did is I said to them, tarot cards, pendulum, crystals, whatever you use, numerology, they're all just tools. And you're learning how to work with your instrument by using those tools. So when I started learning tarot, I wasn't putting all my power in the cards. I was communicating with the cards from my soul. That's why I have a class, Soulful Tarot. I teach you how to read the cards with your soul. So the cards are reflections of my soul. Even though we think they're very powerful with their answers and stuff, but they're just lighting up that part of us that's gifted. The pendulum I can manipulate. It's just giving us the direct answers inside our soul. Crystals have a lot of energy, a lot of vibration, but you're attracted to a certain crystal. You're using a certain crystal to align something. I don't know a lot about crystals, so I don't even pretend, okay? But for me personally, the few I use, and what little I know about crystals, but what I know from my guides, they are just waking up that part of you. If everything is one, then we all have these gifts, and these are just tools. So I'm just teaching you tools and techniques to get the direct answers that lie inside of here. And my guides, the way they show up for me and what I teach, everything's a relationship for me. I have a relationship with Micah. I have a relationship with a community. I have a relationship with the trees. I have a relationship with God. I have a relationship with my brother. I have a relationship with my friends. Everything I know is relationship. I have a relationship with myself. So my guides showed up outside of me because they knew that I understood everything in relationship. So in order to teach me about myself, they taught me about them. And then I learned about myself. So it's relationship. It's hard for me to explain what I'm saying, but if they showed up inside of me, I wouldn't have understood, or I wouldn't have believed it. I would have thought this is all, believe it or not, I can believe more in this than I can this at that time, at that point in time when I was learning. So they taught me from outside of me. But what they taught me is that everything I need is in here. Everything. And that's what I teach my students. Where does intuition fit in all this? Intuition, it's a good question, Guy. Oh, I'll tell you, Lola, in a second, the difference between Membership for Your Soul and Soul Finder Academy. Intuition is a tool. It's a technique. It's a gift. So clairvoyance lives here. This is my belief. We just had a whole discussion about this in Membership, about clairsentience. Clairaudience lives in your throat. That's clear hearing. Empathic ability for me lives in my heart. That's feeling, I'm not going to go into each gift. Clairsentience for me lives in my third chakra. That's intuition for me. It's different than other people. Claircognizance for me lives all around here. Okay. So intuition is a way of communicating. It's a way of getting information from the unseen realms or from the physical experience you're having. It's another sight. It's like we see, hear, feel, sense, and know in our physical world, right? But then intuition is that other sense of intuiting things, of knowing things, of feeling it. For me, clairsentience is my intuition. That's where my intuition lives. So it's just a access way to the information. It's just like, it's a tool to gather deeper information. It's a tool to deepen your wisdom inside yourself. It's a tool into trusting yourself in a deeper way. I'm hoping I'm making sense, Key. Does this make sense? So for me, I use tarot. Say I use tarot. I don't, but say I use it. I teach it because I've learned it. And I'm using clairvoyancy and clear hearing as I'm reading the cards. Those are all tools to get me to the answers. Intuition is a tool to get me to the answers. Let me know if that makes sense. Thank you, Dawn. So Lola asks, what's the difference between Membership for Your Soul and Soul Finder Academy? So Membership for Your Soul is a program where I teach you how to communicate with your guides, how to get your psychic gifts activated, how to use them. It's also got a ton of other teachers in there that teach different things, from astrology to karmic ancestral ties, to saying goodbye to relationships, to money, absolving money issues. So it's a program that is like a kit and caboodle. It's like a master class, if you know what master class is, or a Mind Valley, in a much more intimate setting with phenomenal teachers. So that's Membership for Your Soul. It's also a lower price point. Soul Finder Academy is my signature program, where it's a 4-month program with a lot of short videos, and you're deep diving into your soul. You're getting into an intimate relationship with your soul. You're also getting, even though Membership for Your Soul has access to me, Soul Finder Academy has more access to me. So I'm teaching more. So that's the difference. So it's price, but it's also Membership for Your Soul, Soul Finder Academy. The people that are in there, they've been doing the work, and they are ready to just deep dive and live completely from their heart and soul. So I hope that answers it. Okay. So we got some questions, and then I'm going to go soon because I have to do another live in a group that I'm in. So put voice if you're just joining. Thank you, Dawn. Hello from Sedona. David, so what David says is, he goes, I'm an empath, and I just learned I can sense people feeling through my head remotely. So you're learning your instrument on how you can feel. So that's great. I teach people in Membership for Your Soul that you are the instrument. So just because I experience information, or I get information this way, does not mean you're going to get it that way. No, you actually spelled claircognizant correct, as far as I can tell. I'd have to write it out. Okay. Angelic was in a weird place, felt a big spirit, felt like Dorothy walking through the field. I tried to meditate while seeing a very strange dream. I was struggling. So I'm reading Mary's question. I was fighting to keep my energy and rise. It need to learn how to ground better. I came out of it in time for Soul Finder Live before, and immediately felt stronger. Yeah, so Mary, that just means there's a lot of energy going on right now in the world, a lot of consciousness, a lot of energy we're starting, and it's going to get more intense with the elections, especially in the States, the elections coming up, but even like the winter months and things like that. And you really, really want to ground so that you can be able to assimilate what your guides are doing with you, and the energy out here and the consciousness of the world. So I have very, very strong boundaries about things. And the reason why I have strong boundaries about things is I don't let a lot of nonsense into my experience. My experience is very pure between me and my guides. My guides will tell me what I need to know, if I need to study something, if I need to read something, they'll point me in the direction. If something pops up on my Facebook feed or on Google or Yahoo, whatever it is, if I need to see it, they'll bring me to it. and then I assimilate with myself. I don't take in a lot. So you may have taken in too much energy from outside, which may have made you feel wonky. That's okay. Grounding is the biggest key to get yourself back to stability. He says, it does make sense, but I'm puzzled because I would not have put answers from my guide as intuition as opposed to answers from my soul. Would not have put answers. I think it's the same thing though, P. That's the thing. Our guides are giving us the answers from our soul. Intuiting it is how you get those answers. So for me, my guides are reflections of my souls, which is my deepest truth. So they're helping me to get those answers. Intuition is how I'm getting them. It's the train that takes you to the destination. Intuition is the car that takes you to the destination. The destination is the answers and the wisdom that your guides and your soul are providing. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Hi, Lorena. Yes, Christine. So what I said is wake up every morning and ask yourself that question, because nobody struggled with the answer. So wake up and do that. So that's it. All right, guys, I'm going to go because I have another live in a group. So if you want to join in another half hour, go to Write Voice in the comments, and you're going to be invited to my masterclass where I'm going to teach Voice of Your Soul, the only guidance you will ever need. And we're going to be talking about how your guides speak to you through your soul. So you can tune in, you can gain clarity, and you can make powerful decisions without distraction, without all that outside noise that really gets in your way, the overwhelm. You know what I'm talking about. So we're going to talk about how to ask questions, because there's a specific way to ask your guides questions. First, you're going to start with a dream, believing in your dream, and then asking questions, and then understanding the answers, how you get answers, and how to break down a symbol. So that's what we're going to be doing in that master training. It's on Thursday at 3 p.m. Claim your spot. And if you don't use Messenger, you can get it here. So that's why I put it in. Yeah, it'll probably be recorded, Christine, but it's a limited replay. So if you can't join live, just make sure you join the list, and it usually gets recorded. So don't worry about it. All right, guys. So I'm going to go have fun, and I am going to say thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Much love to all of you. Bye.